I'm here in the year 2025 in the parking lot of a building where Smack's Fast Food, which originated, well, at least in Kansas City, Missouri. That's where we used to have to go to get a Smack's hamburger and a chocolate shake. But for a time, we had one in Liberty. What's the story behind that?
We'll drive out of this town and go where we want to go.
And yes, we are going to go not only into the story of Smack's, but also a multitude of other restaurants that no longer exist in Liberty.
Ron McCoy is warped.
That's time warped?
Let's ask him something else. He really came through on that one.
Why don't you ask him why he didn't warn us the whole wheat bread is stale?
I'm going to ask that device something, but it's not about stale bread. I'm going to ask it about restaurants that once existed in Liberty, Missouri, and beyond. Restaurants that have special meaning to me, and I'm sure others. But in order to do that, I must enter the time tunnel. I'm here where 152 becomes Kansas Street in Liberty, at the location where a Smack's fast food restaurant was once located. Smack's in Liberty. This Smack's was located in an area called Westtown. It featured doctor's offices and pharmacies, and as such, it had to conform to the architectural structure of the other buildings in this area. So this Smack's restaurant did not look a whole lot like the other Smack's restaurants in the Kansas City metropolitan area. Its sign, however, did resemble the signs on the other Smack's restaurants. It was fast food. It featured Smacky, which was their mascot. When I was about 10 years old, which would have been approximately 1970, I received this sticker, Smacky and Junior Thing Tag, which I received during one of my visits to Smack's restaurant. I came home and I adhered it to the side of an old radio, which I am still in possession of. But it no longer exists. What happened to it? Well, we're going to find out. The first Smack's opened in 1956 at 5420 Johnson Drive in Mission, Kansas. Wayne Jones, who purchased Allen's Barbecue back in 1944, had intended to change the name to Pappy's, but with neon in short supply because of World War II, he had to stick with Allen's. A year later, his son-in-law William Fiedler came aboard to help run Allen's. Allen's was a sit-down fancy restaurant, but Smack's was fast food. The Allen's Royal Burger became the Smackaroo, a triple stack with lettuce, cheese, and tomato on a toasted bun, served alongside tenderloins and hand-dipped onion rings. In 1954, Ted Llewellyn, Jones's other son-in-law, returned home from the Navy and entered the family business. Lynn Llewellyn Kirkpatrick, the sister to Ted, her first job was standing on a crate in the kitchen at Smack's. Her brother Ted would pop the onions apart. She'd pick up the circles of onions, her hands in rubber gloves secured by rubber bands, and dip them in batter and dredge them in coating. People would come and watch us because it was all glass in front, and my dad would give us $1 for the day. I loved it. In 1960, McDonald's, founded by Ray Kroc, actually bought by Ray Kroc, allegedly offered Jones to take over all of the Missouri Territory, but he declined. Now, McDonald's had the golden arches, Smack's had the green overhang, and competed for a long time. At the peak, there were over 24 Allens and 24 Smacks across Kansas and Missouri, creating a regional burger chain. However, along came the Happy Meal to McDonald's.
Your kids will love McDonald's Happy Meal. It's food and fun in a box. It's a hamburger or cheeseburger, regular-sized fries, regular-sized soft drink, and a McDonald's and cookie sampler. It all comes in a Happy Meal box with games, puzzles, jokes, and a prize.
A prize?
The Happy Meal was introduced in 1979, and that was the beginning of the end for Smacks. By 1983, the last Smacks restaurant in the Kansas City area had closed. Here, just off Kansas Street, in the place where this building now exists, was a restaurant called The Cuckoo. It actually had a cuckoo clock structure and a giant cuckoo bird that was built on the front of the building, and it was replaced by Price's after a time, and but originally it looked like a big cuckoo clock. That building is completely gone. In 1972, I recall vividly, I had been in a play in 6th grade, Christmas in Ozland. And after that presentation, which took place in the evening, my grandfather took my family here to eat. By that point in 1972, had it already become a Price's restaurant. It was no longer the Cuckoo, but it still looked like the Cuckoo. Right here along Highway 291 in Liberty is where Sambo's was located.
Daddy, can we take Mommy to dinner? How come? Let's burn her finger.
Sure we can.
Mommy, we're going to Sambo's.
It doesn't cost a lot to be nice at Sambo's. You'll find complete dinners for under $3. Kids' hot dogs and hamburgers for 35 cents.
How's your finger?
Okay, how did you know? It's just what the family ordered. Sambo's. Why don't we do this more often?
We will.
Sambo's closed in the early 1980s. It was still flourishing in 1979, but it came under fire not only for the artwork on the walls inside its restaurant, but also for its name. Once it closed, Village Inn took over that building. When Village Inn went out of business, the building was razed, and now this business stands in that location. Here along 291 Highway, where Yummy's Donuts is now located, we used to have a Dog and Suds restaurant. It operated something like Sonic, which you see across the highway, where you would pull your automobile up and a car hop would come out and take your order and then bring the food to you. They had a tray which attached to your window, and you could take the items off your tray and eat them in your car. Dog and Suds started as a successful drive-in franchise in 1953, but saw a major decline due to ownership changes, cost cutting, and a root beer recipe change that upset fans. While the original 650-plus locations have mostly closed, a dozen or so locations remain in the year 2025, and the brand continues as a smaller chain and a bottled root beer product. Just up the hill, where Texas Tom's is now thriving, at one time we had Arby's in that location, Hardee's in that location, and other restaurants as well. It was a gas station even before that. So all here in Liberty at this corner. And here along 291 Highway was the location of a restaurant called Trails Inn, long-time restaurant. Prior to that, it was called Wade's. Trails Inn moved to the other side of the Liberty Center shopping center. Trails Inn moved over here where you see Wild Child and J&S Pizza. Didn't seem like Trails Inn was there long time before that, there was Crown Drug, and Crown Drug had a food counter, and they cooked up things like hamburgers, french fries, onion rings here in the Liberty Center Shopping Center. Here on this corner in Liberty Center, we had the Golden Glazed Donut Shop. They had warm donuts served not unlike Krispy Kreme does today. And just off Mill Street, we had Dairy Queen for many, many years when I taught at Franklin Elementary School, which is right next door. During my planning time, usually art, I would walk over and get a tenderloin and onion rings and french fries. Used to be Dairy Queen, still looks like Dairy Queen. Up here on the historic Liberty Town Square, we had Begg's Pharmacy, which was a drugstore, but it had a food counter and lots of places to sit, booths and so forth, and they served up delicacies such as tenderloins, hamburgers, french fries, delicious chocolate shakes. Yes, Begg's Pharmacy. Here on this corner, across from Kansas Street and on Main Street, was Kelso's Pizza, and one of the best memories I have of Kelso's Pizza is the wonderful aroma inside the restaurant. And when I go to Pizza Shop, which is up by the Home Depot, one of the things that makes me think of Kelso's Pizza is the wonderful aroma in Pizza Shop. Yes, Kelso's Pizza right here on this corner. And here along 291 Highway, we have Cirilla's, the original location of the first McDonald's in Liberty, actually technically the only McDonald's in Liberty. I worked in this McDonald's when it opened in October of 1980, and even at the time, I remember thinking, boy, this McDonald's location is so small, and lo and behold, about 22 years later, McDonald's relocated, built a new, larger building, and exists now behind my left shoulder. But yes, this was originally the first McDonald's in this area. Here along Highway 291, we have what is now Senior Solutions. No comment. Originally, this building housed Sirloin Stockade, and along the highway, there was a sign that had a heifer on it, and it said, "The Sizzlin' Sirloin," and a price. I don't remember exactly what the price was, but a lot cheaper than it would be now. Yes, the Sirloin Stockade, that is the original building. Now, there have been a lot of modifications to it, but yes, the same building exists today in the year 2025, but it was originally Sirloin Stockade, right here next to the renovation of what used to be Freveritt's True Value Hardware Store. And even though it's not in Liberty, I have to mention it. It was a restaurant that we frequented called the Forum Cafeteria in what was then Antioch Shopping Center. Now it's Antioch Crossing. We used to love to come to the Forum Cafeteria, and we almost always got a balloon that said on it, "I ate at the Forum Cafeteria." And even though it wasn't in Liberty, it still brings back fond memories. And while I am in the vicinity of Antioch Shopping Center, the old Antioch Shopping Center, I have to mention a place that we also frequented. You can tell by the look of the building, International House of Pancakes, same building, different people who are running a business here, but just beyond the International House of Pancakes, or what used to be the International House of Pancakes, there was Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. Now, I only vaguely remember it, but since I'm in the area, I have to mention it. I used to love eating there as well.
What do you mean we may never know? No, that's not a yes or no question. It means, should we stay in here until 3 o'clock? Every answer seems to fit.
We now return your yes or no devil box to you until the next episode of Ron McCoy is time warped. There, you see, I got the title right.
Mr. Announcer, I'm proud of you. Oh, I'm being pulled into another fantastic adventure somewhere along the infinite corridors of time. What's this? I'm just outside Fairyland Park on 75th and Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri. Ooh, this should be interesting.